on with some fall tillage, getting some more lime blended in. Brian's getting some more lime spread. I've seen the dozer and the excavator moving around, so things are going to get interesting when this field work gets done. Well, I won't bore you too much. I'm going to run the speed tiller 475 some. I'll check in when we have some interesting things. Got my drone. There, that's better. Got my drone. Just in case, and just kind of getting moved in. Going to spend the day here. Don't have to push the hours, but need meat in the seat, and that's me today. So I come back from yesterday, pick up, and it's tracking to the left real bad. So I lowered my rear gang slightly. I'm talking half a notch, and it straightened right out. Seems like you chase that on this thing every once in a while. You just kind of have to make sure that your front and rear gangs are balanced. Anyway, we're back going now. Fought it for a little bit. Coming up on Bryden right there. He's loading the line spreader. I said that was Brian. There's Bryden. Had to look in the cab. He does quite a bit of the line spread. He's giving me the cush job setting in this 380. This does a good job. Ground's plenty hard, but you can see we're getting plenty deep. So we're legit there. Hoping this isn't causing waviness. I had some bouncing go on. As I did that, I lowered my rear gang slightly. It also tracked it from the left. This thing kind of tracks back and forth via your adjustment there on your rear gangs, because these set down differently. You can see the angle here, right here. So when I adjust, here's the stop. And here's your adjustment. Earlier I was on like the one notch down. Changed that, it tracked a little better. Now, like right now, see, we're I was going fast enough that I'm not all the way in the ground. So I've been mindful to watch that, and you can kind of tell when you're in an area and the way the tractor sounds, just kind of the harmony of the tractor. And you can turn around and look and you'll see a gap under those wheels. That's not a good thing. Now the first thing I've done to combat that's ground speed. I was trying to run that 7.5, and I'll be honest, I'm liking this 6.5, 6, under 7. 7, the wings kind of dance if you don't watch. That's the other thing, the wing dancing. This thing does that, and if it does that, I found just slowing down, adjusting a few things. Sometimes you just need to run your pitch, just run that cylinder, cycle it, just so you know that's all the way back. I've had that a few times. I showed up this morning and I put this, shut this off working, and I come out here this morning and it doesn't want to work right. So works well in heavy residue, because this is heavy residue. We're no-till. Well, no-till, strip-till. We don't run these kind of things. So I guess when I'm sitting here telling you, as I'm looking at things, I'm kind of learning as I go. I mean, we've run a turbo till, we've had field cultivators, we've not had good success with field cultivators. That was as strange as that sounds. But yeah, so far the disc, real impressed with. It's heavy duty. Feel like instead of a 21 foot, we almost could have a 30 footer. Maybe that takes some of the wing dance out, and just go ahead and slow to that 6.5 miles an hour. It seems to do a great job that way. Now in the spring, different ball game. We're not as deep. It doesn't want to dance as easy. It's quite a bit different. I've had some cheap rolling baskets in my time. I have not liked them. The rolling basket on this is legit. If you put pressure on this with your cylinders, you can actually raise these rear gangs, and that's not a good thing either. As heavy as this is, it still sometimes could use some more weight, I guess I'd say. Just depending on the conditions. But right here, we're kind of compacted. This is an end row. But yeah, just quick thoughts. Bryden will use that Gale. It's a 2007 CTL 80. That's a 90 plus horsepower skid steer. We've had that quite a while. It works great for stuff like this. You can haul it around on this trailer. Even a half-ton truck, because it's got the tri-axle. I've talked about this in previous videos, but this trailer, the way the axle is, we built this with my dad, and this axle is stationary. So when the springs load, then weight sets on this axle. It allows you to use a half-ton truck if you wanted. You can tell it's pretty primitive. It's definitely homemade. Had to put a new jack on it. This one's kind of tired. Harbor Freight. Anyway, I better get back to work. Can't do these kind of things in a hay heater. A lot of times you can't do this in a combine very easy. Tillage, we don't do very much of this. I kind of like it. Bryden's headed out, big load of line. By keeping that in-house, we keep costs down. And we use ROGO AG, which I need to share with them some. So ROGO AG, they have an unmanned skid steer that does your soil sampling, does it on 2-acre grids with RTK, and it's repeatable. You get very accurate year-to-year soil tests by going with 2-acre grids. I know it's a little overkill. Most guys do soil sample by soil type or soil sample by zones, which is fine. There's some fields that we have that you could use zones. But the fact is, we have so many different soil types, such variability around here. The only way to fine-tune a fertility program with our soil types is those 2-acre grids. With those 2-acre grids, Brian's writing prescriptions for our bulk spread, our lime, and all of our strip till. Pretty cool how this folds up, dumps all the dust off itself. 2 tires to maintain. There's a lot of positives to this. We've lost 1 bearing since we've owned it. Blades look easy to replace. Maybe we'll wear them out this year. We're down right there. And we're ready for transport, just like that. This tractor has the 32-mile-an-hour transmission, which is too fast for this. Maybe if you're on the highway, but I doubt it. I usually leave it in the 16 to 20-mile-an-hour range here with this disc. It's kind of top heavy. We have turned it over on its side. Brennan had it in the open ditch that we had. I have pictures of it. I didn't video that. Hey, he's not bad. Cool. There we go. The road just not big enough for both of us right now. Thank you. Over the railroad tracks. Hey, Joe. So we're driving by a 50-acre field that we just purchased at an online auction there about a month ago. We're going to do a fence row project and join it with some ground that we already farm. And it's behind these houses right here. This is it. There's 50 acres from there to there. On the other side of the trees there is 150 acres we already farm. So we're going to join all that together. It makes a big area for us. It's going to be a 200-acre tillable area. Pretty excited about that. Take you guys along for that when we do the fence row project. We usually use an excavator with a fang. It's a root ripper. Then the dozer, it's got a big blade on the front. And I don't know if it's a 5-way, I forget how many way, but it's going to have its way with some trees because I'm getting tired of the boundaries growing back. Yeah, I know, it'll go faster than 16 miles an hour. But I just don't feel like having my guts churned out today. Sometimes you just want to cruise. I'm not under the gun. Obviously, I'm 21 feet wide. I'm not in a hurry. Well, I am, and I'm not at the same time. You know how that is. No, the fall tillage is a little enjoyable. It's just all of us are getting enough of it by the time we get done. Hoping we just wear the blades off this thing, we can put a new set on it. We'll see. See, that thing just looks top heavy. I'm saying I could flip it over in that ditch if I wasn't watching what I'm doing. Would be my guess. Okay, story time. Field we're in is a 138 acre field. 93 of it was bought in 2008 from an individual. He had actually listed 138 acres with an auction company, but he just did it as a listing, didn't sell it. He put a for sale by owner sign up on it, and I called on that. I was 28 years old. It's 2008. Brian was even younger. And Brian and I had purchased a farm, had a house sell that allowed that farm to clear, so we had that as collateral. And we were able to get a loan for the 93 acres. If that house hadn't sold, the housing crisis was right around the corner. We would have got stuck and couldn't have bought this farm. Well, that was in 2008. 93 of it got bought. The other part stayed over here, and someone else rented that. So we bought this 93, and there was another person farming the other part of this field, even though it was one field. Well, I talked to the owner, and he decided he'd sell the rest on contract. He didn't want to pay tax on the gains, selling the whole thing. But he wanted a big down payment. And he wanted to make it sting, so he did. And he put us on a 7-year payment schedule, which was a tough one. But that allowed us to get some equity. And we'll go into more stories later, but it allowed us to continue on. But anyway, so 2008, we bought 93 acres with a loan. And then 2 years later, in 2010, we bought the balance, which was over here to the ditch and the road. And bought that on contract, a 7-year contract. Payments on a 7-year contract are not friendly. Brian and I were younger then, and yeah, things get pretty interesting. I'll share some more of that as I go along. Don't want to bore you too much, but pretty special. This was bought in 2008, and it's 2025 now. It's a long time ago. A lot of crops on it. We've been here since 2008. Nice big long rows. It's really, Brian and I, for ground that we own, this is kind of our prize field. It's a real nice one. Took a lot of negotiating. They didn't want to loan money on it at first, even though we had down payment. Then the other part had to do on contract anyway. Luckily, he wanted to do a contract because I don't think that we would have been able to borrow the money at the time to purchase the other part. Didn't have any equity going. And we were, it was an ag boom had just occurred. The ethanol boom, I guess you call it. That was 2007. First year we were seeing consistent $4 corn. But even then, it just times were a little tight. But glad it happened. Glad it's all one piece. Looking back at how hard that was. I'm seeing this now. Pretty cool. Okay, enough of that. Let's do some more back and forth. We're in half-mile rows. Thinking about putting the drone up, check it out. Get the drone out and I'll show you this field from the sky. See if I can tie all that together. I don't know if it'll work or not. I'm sure I can. I think I'm gonna put the landing gear on. Okay. DJI Mini 3 Pro. Just like that. I better take off before I take off with the tractor.
Take off. Home point updated.
Cinema mode, which is your slowest. It may not let me get close enough to land. Yeah, it's not going to. I got the motion, I've got the protection on, so it's going to want to fly over it.
Landing.
Woo! Oh man! Right there. There it is, guys. I figured I was going to crash it. I was going to be out of drone or something. And I just barely missed those lures, though. Good fishing, good fishing. Made it back. Oh, it's probably enough drone today. One battery's about 30 some minutes. Anyway,